Hello everyone, this is ArtisanTony, and this is going to be a video about installing a door, an exterior door without nailing fins, which is pretty common. That a lot of these doors, like this is a Therma-Tru door. It's a very nice door. It's a fiberglass with wood texture on it. Looks really nice, but it doesn't have nailing fins. We order these doors without trim on them, and we will put fiber cement, 1x4s on there. So, and this will all maybe be clear in a moment. And I'm making this video for Clinton. This is a project, and this is where he stands. It's an outdoor. I keep calling it an outdoor studio. That's basically what it is. It's a studio he's going to be using, and it's actually a little bigger than it looks. I've always been amazed at it, how small it looks, but it's, it's 10 by 12. It's the size of a regular office, So he'll have plenty of room, plenty of light, neat architecture. So of course the door is not installed, but this kind of gives you an idea of what the siding and trim will look like. Anyway, I just want to give you a rough look there at what it might look like. Now let's go back to our view. So the issue here is, how do you install this door? And the short answer is there's three ways. There's the noob way to install it. There's the typical contractor way. And then there is the artisan way. And I'm going to show you all three ways. A noob would just, and I'm saying noob because I'm just at a lack for a term. I'm going to move this door back in there 10 feet. Someone who didn't know any better would literally just take this door and install it right on top of the subfloor. They would just slide the door in, put some screws in it, and put trim around it and go on. But that's not what I'm going to recommend. The typical contractor method would be to just put some caulk here over the subfloor. But anyway, and then you can see that Clinton has already got his Tyvek on, and which he did a really good job of. And this is honestly one of the most important things you can do is get the Tyvek installed properly. Now on a door, it's a little bit different. The Tyvek tape is a little bit different. And I'm going to show the windows in a different video. Now, Clinton just wants to get the door installed, so I'm trying to help him out with a video for that. So this is what I'm going to recommend, and there's actually two different ways you can do this, and I would consider quality way. The one way that's not exactly the artisan way, which I'll show you in a minute, is this method of taking the Tyvek flex wrap tape. And I'm going to show that. And let me back this video up a little bit. And I'll send you a link. I'll put a link to this. This is Tyvek's video on how to do the flex wrap. So you just cut the flex wrap tape 6 inches longer on each side. And it has a sticky back to it. You peel half of that off first and lay it in the opening. Then you take the rest of the tape, the back off, and then you press it. And here's where the fun starts. You take your hand and you mold this corner. You push it out first, okay, as far as you can, and then mold this around the corner. It looks easy in the video. It's not that easy. It takes a little practice. And then you take a roller and roll it like that. That's kind of the way that a decent contractor would do it, okay? And of course they're showing a window there, but you can do that. You can use that same product for the bottom of the door. That's better than not doing anything. And you can see remnants of my little tape job here. This one doesn't belong there. Let me delete that one. One of the problems that we have with SketchUp is it will show lines sometimes behind a surface. So if you see this line across here, that's just something behind, that's a line ghosting through the Tyvek. This Tyvek is one continuous sheet, just like Clinton has it here, okay? You did a good job with that. So that would be, your first option. The thing I don't like about that is that it's not really a pan per se. So what we do on ours, and this is something it takes a little planning, is that we have this pan made up from our local roofing and supply company. They have okay, doggy. They have a sheet metal shop, and in a couple of days, if I send them a drawing and dimensions, dimension drawing, they can make up this 26 gauge, and sometimes we do that 24 gauge. I would recommend 24 paint grip galvanized pan, okay? And then that slides back into the opening. Okay, and so what that does is that it comes out over and laps out over the Tyvek. Now when you cut this opening out on the bottom of the door, this Tyvek, just make sure it's cut kind of flush. If it's not, if you accidentally cut the Tyvek too low, you can take a piece of Tyvek tape and create that bottom piece over again before you put this pan in there. Okay, now the reason I like the pan is because it has this little leg on the back of it. So if water comes back in here, it can't go back any further than this. Okay, now again, you can use the flex wrap tape and put a couple of beads of caulk down through here, and maybe that'll stop water from going back any further. But I really like this system. This is the way we've done our doors for maybe 10 years. And the thing I don't like about the flex wrap is that these doors are kind of heavy, and they've got metal thresholds on the bottom of them, and that can actually gouge. This part's metal, this part's wood. There's a composite material now they make these out of. They don't make them out of solid wood anymore. But you can actually gouge a hole in that tape. Now, if you're careful and you set the door in there, nice and easy, and put your couple of beads of caulk along here, along the back, to prevent water from running back. Because I don't know how many times I've renovated homes and the owner of the home wanted us to change out the door. We take out the door and all this subfloor is rotted right here, and the contractor would have done nothing but set the door right on the subfloor. And I've got the deck pulled away here, but in a minute I'm going to push it back and I'll show you part of the problems that we run into with all this. And then I'm going to do another video just for the deck flashing. The flashing is a big deal, and really doing your flashing properly will add 100 years to your house. So anyway, so what I'm going to do now is so to create this little leg up on the sides, you can take a piece of Tyvek tape and put it here, and then caulk this right here with some 100% silicone. So in effect, you've created yourself a little pan that you caulk there, but that you've got this leg coming up on the back, right? And that goes against I'll show you in a minute how this goes against the back of the door threshold. So then what you would do is I'm going to take this door and I'm going to take this door trim off of it for now. I'm not going to take it off of it. I'm just going to make it so I can set the door in place. I think I moved this out 10 feet. So if I move this back 10 feet. So now what you're going to do is set the door in place, and you can see that now the door setting on the pan and the threshold, this threshold, I downloaded this threshold for this door. It's not 100% accurate. The composite material in the under here comes on all the way out to the edge, so there's not this void here. Okay, so what in effect you'll have is this threshold will be sitting on top of your pan, and then when the water comes and drips back, it'll hit that pan and drip down over the top of your Tyvek. You get the same effect if you use the flex tape. Okay, again, if you can get it in there and you don't have time to have this 24 gauge paint grip galvanized pan made, then you can use the flex wrap tape, and just be careful when you're setting the door in there not to damage it. So let's go in here, see if I can go inside here and turn around. Go in there we go, without getting in the wall too much, and showing you that how this works. You see, now our pan is on the back side of our threshold. Okay, so water can't come back inside the house. Now this back leg is only 3/4 of an inch tall, so when you butt your wood flooring or whatever it is up against this won't show. Now if you're going to use like a 12mm laminate in here, just make this leg a little bit shorter. Yeah, it can be a 1/2 inch or whatever. You just need some kind of some kind of vertical up leg here on this to keep the water. And you see that's the back side of our pan on the corner. Okay, so you don't even need to caulk this in here. See, there's no need to caulk this on the inside because you've got all this protection. And trust me, that 24 gauge or even if it's 26 gauge, I like the 24 gauge, but either way, you're not going to have any leaks that way. And I promise you, well, I'll show you what happens in a minute with all this water and stuff. So then, because these doors don't have flanges on them like the modern windows do, we're going to take Tyvek tape and make us a flange. Let me see if I can move this back. I think I took it out 5 feet. We're going to run that around, and it's going to overlap. It's going to overlap the jamb of the door, okay? And you're going to bring that to the margin that you're going to put on the trim, okay? So basically, you can look at this as you're putting this tape in the same place as the trim. Let me move it over and I'll show you. See the gap between the door. There's going to be more of a gap than this. There'll be probably about 1/4 inch there. Okay, but and the way you do this is you put your 2 side pieces on first, and you let them stick up 3 inches or so, and then you take a piece and go across the top. Again, it's put at the margin on the jamb that you're going to put your trim at, and that's going to cover that gap between the jamb of the door and the rough opening. And what it's also going to do is it's going to create a place where when you start foaming, you take your non-expandable foam and start spraying it into the gaps around the jamb from the inside. It kind of gives this a backing. Okay, and then that's going to go down, and it'll just lap down some, and then you're going to put your trim on. I think that was 10 feet too. 10 feet, yeah. And I'll show you in a second why I'm not showing the top trim. But you can see now that trim is going to cover that tape, and you'll run a bead of silicone, paintable silicone down that joint right there. And that's really the best way. You'll never have any leaks. Your framing at the bottom of your door and your subfloor will be good for a long time. Now in this particular project, normally you'd go ahead and put your top piece across here too, and then you would have Z flashing on top of that. But what we have, because of the architectural, where's our siding, wall siding? That's that, and then we have this band that goes around. We've got too many layers. Here we go. So this band is an architectural feature that runs around the whole top, or well, the top of the door and around through the windows and all the way around the building. And again, this is just some cool architecture, and it gives you a place to change over the siding. Where is our siding? But that's the way that works, and all this is going to be just smooth, hardy panel up here, and this is going to be lap siding. Then he's going to build a deck around, and this goes back, I think I moved that out 2 feet, 24, and then I moved it that way, 24, 24, yeah. And so you can see what happens is, he's got some redwood decking he's going to put down here, and I'm going to do another video on how to flash this. But in a nutshell, there will just be a 26 gauge L shaped flashing here that will go up behind the siding and come out over this. So if when water gets down here behind this, it will come out and get dripped over this band, and it won't go behind that band. But I'm going to make another video because I'm going to show how we're going to do the flooring and all that, and I'll show the windows, how they're taped too. So that's just a quick video for that, and I think Clinton's doing a really good job there. He's basically a novice carpenter. His uncle is a little more experienced, and they're doing a really good job. You can see here, I'm trying to rotate the picture. They've already got the roof on, the soffits, the fascia, and they wanted to put the door in next. So I thought I'd make this video to help them out. And this is something that I do. Actually, Clinton is one of my customers for atdrafting.com. And if you're interested in becoming one of our cool customers, it's not very expensive. That's one thing about residential drafting is that there's only so much the market will bear as far as cost for this. So you end up getting a lot of quality, a lot of value for your dollars. Again, stay tuned. I'll be doing a video. I'll probably try to wrap the flashing for these windows and the decking all in the next video. I'm also going to be making one of these transoms for Clinton as a sample, and that'll be coming up soon too. Thanks for watching.